rather than make everyone listen to our chatting. So welcome to the February 24th Rotary EClub meeting. We're just checking in that Ohm met the new district governor he went to his local, you want to say just a couple sentences about that, Ohm?
Sure. Last Thursday, since my previous club, Rotary Club of Somerville Bridgewater, which conducts a meeting at Raton Valley Country Club, they are going through the update or renewal process of the buildings. So we had a joint meeting with the Rotary Club of Greenbrook and Nullen. And there I met the current district governor-elect and Waco. So she was there. She asked me, I said, I'm currently part of the E-Club of District 74-75. She said she's very supportive of E-Clubs because they continue to do the good work and still being part of the Rotary. So that was my brief conversation with her, and she talked about her vision, how she wants to grow. So it was a good meeting.
Good.
So that's about.
And then we said that we would reach out to Sue, our secretary, to see if she wants to set up any kinds of community service over the next few months. And I know the soup cook-off is coming in February that Joe Patton, one of our members, is always very involved in. So I'll get all that information out. So that's okay. Now you're up to date, Bill.
Okay, reference to Ann Walco. You know, she's I've known Ann for a couple of years now, and now she's switched. She's a member of our Scotch Plains Club, which is my Terra Club, if you would.
Okay.
And I still go to their meetings whenever I'm available on Wednesdays. The last few meetings I haven't been able to because of all this stuff that's was going on here in New York, leading up to the Futures We Want conference last week. So, but I'll probably see her this Wednesday again. Oh, I'll take that back. I can't. I've got a meeting with the ambassador from the African Union on Wednesday. But I'll definitely. I've been in touch with Ann. The Scotch Plains Club, of course, is the club that organizes all her events or her conference this year. So we will have a lot of connections with her. But I think it would be great if we could get her to come on to an E-Club meeting that we could announce in advance and perhaps try to get more people to watch and do like an interview with her, or to be able to at least get a video statement from her talking about what she thinks of the E-Club idea that we could post on the Facebook page.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think she will definitely join us at least once she becomes president, because she's required to visit every club.
Yeah, I think that, but I think she'll do it in advance. Okay. I think we can actually get a statement in advance, because I've been talking to her about the importance of putting the emphasis on her assembly. You know, the convention here, or the conference, district conference, is at the end of a president's time. And I've stressed to her the importance that the assembly is where she can do the push for what she wants to try to accomplish in her year. So we should put more emphasis on the assembly than on the conference.
Yes, of course.
Great. Are you able to talk to her about it when next time you see her, whenever that is?
Yeah, in fact, I was thinking, because of the fact that I haven't, she's asked me if I could help get some speakers here for her for events. Because I haven't been able to make the local club meetings for the past few weeks, I was thinking about calling and setting up an independent meeting with her.
Okay, cool. Do you have an update on what's happening with the Dare to Be Great? Are we anywhere?
Actually, we have a couple of schools already, because they were calling me, and so I had to, give them the information. But I have now most of it. I sent you guys the lists of schools. I've got a couple more people who have said they would volunteer to help with the contacting of the schools. I think because we're a week late, we wanted to get that out last Monday,
Right.
but because I really got whacked with that bronchitis and whatever else it was. So like for about 5 days up until last Tuesday, I was just totally incapacitated. And they finally put me on antibiotics and it somehow managed to catch, to stop it enough that I was able to participate during the week here. But then I was in New York every day from Wednesday on. But now I'm working here now to get the invitation part. So we've got the list of the schools. I sent you the list of the schools, or I posted it. It has all the telephone numbers for 350 schools in northern New Jersey. If we can get a few more volunteers so we can start with the schools. I also sent you the lists of both the old, all the Interact Club contacts that I'm aware of, an old 7510 plus in the what is it, 74, whatever the district above us was before, right?
I don't remember the number. Do you want us? How do you want us to attack this? Because clearly I can't make 350 calls.
No.
But I don't want to be doing like what other people are doing. So we need to break it up somehow.
Right. That's exactly my thought. My thought here is number one, let's see here. I'll try today to finish up the invite, the new invite. I went to the website here to identify all the pieces that need to be updated. It's not that much, so I should be able to have it. Have each of you seen the website, the competition website?
Yeah.
Okay, so that just needs a little bit of an update here on terms of the timelines. I'm thinking we have to push the time like to March 10th for for the registrations, and we'll just push to April 10th for the submission. So if they get the message here this week, that means they've got like almost a month and a half to prepare their videos.
Okay. That should be fine. I think that's right before Easter, but that should be okay because you're not going to have the panel thing until later anyway.
Correct. So once we can get the materials in, because it's all going to be taking place online, if you would, after that. Right. We'll set up the appointments here for the judges to interview the teams. We'll only have 8 teams at that point. We do need to set up a process that once the videos come in, we have no idea how many videos we might get. So when we get those videos, we have to narrow it down to the 8 that will be the finalists. And we need to set up a team of people. I would like to open to our district and see who might be interested in participating. I think I have people now from the Wayne Club, the Monroe Club, that would be interested. And I think also the Edison Club, they would be interested in participating in that process. But this is an opportunity to get the rest of the district to be aware of what we do.
Is there any? I'm sorry.
So I'm just thinking if we can put together a little bit of an article and ask Ray or Barry Cole to put that out to the district to say, an invitation, here's what we're doing. Who would like to be part of the, what do you call the process of going through and selecting the finalists? So, because we can make that a very simple process. Everybody just says, hey, these are my favorite 8.
Right.
And then we just take the ones that get the most votes for that are the ones that become the finalists.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I'm glad that you are going to reach out to Ray or Barry, because I think that would be a big help. I can give you a couple hours later on in the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm pretty busy today and tomorrow, but if you have some kind of process, I'm happy to make some phone calls.
Yeah. What I want to do is I want to get the sort of an invitation email that we can send either to a principal, to a vice principal, to a counselor. We can send that to all the schools where we can pull the schools out of the list where we know they have Interact clubs, and we can reach out through the Interact network. Or we can make it a priority to call those schools. So that's roughly, I think, about 45 schools total. Okay. And I think we can get Amanda. She was the Interact co-chair last year from the northern half. So, and she participated last April in the event in Middlesex. So I think here that she would be willing to also help to reach out. So we contact the schools. I'm just afraid going through the Interact chairs in our Rotary clubs. My experience is those communication channels don't work in half the cases.
Right.
And we lose, it'll take them a month to figure out how to even get in touch with their Interact clubs. And I've had too many of those chairs tell me, well, I don't really know who the faculty advisor, because they're only on the list as being that person, but they've never done anything relative to Interact.
So maybe would it work if like by Wednesday you got me whatever the invitation is and connect me with Amanda, and she and I can figure out how to make the contacts with
and I'll also connect you with Sammy Patel because she's willing to make calls.
Okay.
And I think here from what is it, from Hunterdon Central, we've got a person there. I think she would be willing to help. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to get the names of all those people that have indicated they would be willing to help, and we can work priority on the schools where we know there's Interact clubs, but then in parallel divvy up the rest of the list. And if we can get an Interact club or two that might even be willing to help join and make the calls, because the original call, all we need to do is call to get an email address of somebody in the school and get that on a spreadsheet. So we have a contact in every school, and that can be being handled on the side. And then you guys can be focused on sending out the emails to the folks once we have the addresses, and that
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Right, because we got to divvy up the work and to reach out as many as possible. I can tell you the reaction I mentioned to some of the faculty advisors. Obviously, they're not from New Jersey, that were there in New York this time. And they're all saying here they want to participate, even though they said, why does it have to be just New Jersey? Can't we participate too? So, I don't know. I sort of got mixed feelings. I want to do something here that really, says, hey, our district is a little special somehow. But on the other hand, I don't know if I see any downside to allowing schools from outside the district. We had a school from the district just south of us participate last April, and they did an incredible job. They actually made a professional quality video for the event that they presented. They did their talk part, and then they had a 5-minute video there that was just like, wow, that they had put together. So
great.
I think we can see, because that might be an opportunity to open the door to the incoming or to the chairperson of the district governor of maybe the New York district or other districts. But we'll focus on ours.
I think we focus on ours. I don't mind if other people join, but
exactly.
Let's narrow focus, not
right.
Focus.
No, I think you guys, but I think here, just to make sure we know we're going to have 8 quality teams. I think that's the important thing, because this time round, because we're doing it via video, we know we're going to end up with a quality product that we can use to promote the next years.
Okay, fantastic. So I'll touch base back with you on Wednesday and
Okay. Well, Wednesday I might be tough to reach, but I will try to get everything posted on the WhatsApp here in the next 48 hours.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd just like to inform you guys of one other thing. You know, the readathon, there was all this discussion about the readathon.
Right.
I had 1,700 young people here for the last 3 days in New York, and we talked about the readathon, and a date came up here to promote the worldwide readathon, and that date is. It turns out that the actual 75th anniversary date of the United Nations is 24 October. So we missed the March. March would have been the great, you know, if we could have done March, then we could have done those add-on other events here leading into the fall. But because we missed that, and we would need to do something at a time when school's in session and the kids are not all tied up with exams and things like they are in May. You know, we have all these state tests and things they got to take. And in September, you can forget about it because people are just getting back to school. So, but because it turns out September 8th is the International Day of Literacy, which would have been a great kickoff date, let's say, for doing something like this. But if we go and base it, we might be able to make the publicity push be 8 September with the actual 30 days being the 30 days from 24 September to 24 October. So it's the 30 days leading up to the actual date of the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. And I have more people now that are ready to help push to get the Secretary General to make that appeal.
Okay, sounds good.
And that would give us time to go out, and there were a number of Rotary Club people there. The president of the Rotary Club in New York presented, and there was some people from Rotary clubs in Morocco and Lebanon and Serbia, in Italy that were on this event that I had a chance to meet. And all of them are ready to start organizing in their countries to get their Rotary clubs in their respective countries all lined up to promote that event here in September. So just the first announcement of a date, because I think one of the things we sort of said, oh, it's a good idea in general, but we've never put a hard date to say, let's plan on doing it on that date. We'll do the best we can and see what happens. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that sounds good. And we could even try to get a preliminary thing out before the end of the school year. So at least they'll know that that's coming in September.
Absolutely. We are working in parallel here. I've already broached the subject to the Deputy Minister of Education of Ghana. And he says, oh, that's something we could do. And if we can get a few countries, I met here on Friday with the brother of the Minister of Education of Bangladesh. If we can get a handful of countries to announce in advance that they are making this a national policy to participate in that, that's the kind of thing we can do now, and then be working through the summer, trying to get more and more countries ready so that they're going to echo whatever the Secretary General does.
Okay.
I've also touched base with, I met with the ambassador from Montenegro on Saturday, and she's a professor, and her whole thing is education. And I found out that the president of the General Assembly currently is also an educator, and he has made education to be the highlight of his year as president of the General Assembly. So we are very close. I've talked to him twice, but I didn't know that he had made education his cornerstone. So that I talked on Tuesday, I think it was. He has a special advisor for education. There's actually two professors that's their full-time job, is to get the whole General Assembly of the UN really push the education button. And so I will be meeting with one of them here probably the week after next. This week and next week they said were difficult, but those are things where I think we can really, if they jump on board, and we've got a couple of national leaders already on board, this thing's going to take off like a rocket.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
So
Well,
anyway, just an
update. Done.
So you know, you never know where the opportunities come. So I just got to be ready to jump when they do come.
Okay, sounds good. Anyone have anything else before we sign off? That was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'll hear from you, Bill, in the next 48 hours,
Yes.
and I'll plan on making some calls on Wednesday and Thursday.
Great. Thanks a lot. Okay, guys, good seeing you again. Nice seeing you again. Too bad I sorry I didn't get information out earlier here about having you guys come to New York. I don't know. You know, the opening ceremonies and the closing ceremonies are really, you know, the main things. But there was one group, I don't know, Amara, when you were there the last time, did you go up to the 14th floor to see the session that was meeting up there?
I did.
I was there. I'm so upset with myself that I did not record like an hour of their discussion, because the level of debate and deliberation was every bit as good as what you see in the actual real committees at the UN. And to get to the ability to show other folks. One of the thoughts that came to my mind is, you know, we might want to go out and make one of our little campaigns. The Rotary is making a big deal about Model UN.
Okay.
That we might want to go out there and say, let's really promote trying to get Model UN into whatever schools do not have them within our district as a second arm to parallel to Interact. Because Model UN is like club neutral relative to service clubs, but hey, Rotary does good things with all kinds of projects. Right. So that could be something, and maybe that would be something for our club to take the lead at going and making the information available, because I can get it direct from the horse's mouth at the UN, at the academic group there, to get the support so we can provide information out to schools on how do you set up a Model UN club.
Well, my understanding is that the Model UN Club is very different than what we experienced at it's more of a competition than a.
But that did you see the video from April that the Secretary General did? We had a summit meeting, a youth summit meeting in April, and he made to Model UN coordinators, and his whole pitch was get out of that competition mindset. He called on all Model UN clubs to focus on being problem solvers. So we can actually use the video from him as part of introducing to the schools that do not think about it as a competition. It's not just sort of a senior debate club, which is unfortunately where a lot of them do see themselves. But talking to the faculty advisors that were there this weekend, they're seeing that shift, that the more and more things are shifting away from that idea that it's about being a competition to win trophies or certificates, and more about being a place to learn how to be a problem solver, to learn how to do collaborative consensus building and things like that.
Okay, sounds good.
Just an idea.
All right. Are we good? We have all the ideas out that we need to have out. Are we good? So I'll touch base with you later, and we'll see each other in 2 weeks, and I'll try to figure out a better way of getting the Zoom link to everybody.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.